Hi, my name is Naya and I looked into the topic of how people choose where to sit in a public place. For many years, psychologists have been studying how people's brains work and how they make decisions. People make these split-second decisions every day, whether they are deciding where to sit in a waiting room, movie theater, a train, or even a bus. I looked into a study done by Peter Weyers, Annette Milnick, Clarissa Mueller, and Paul Pauly on which side of the cinema, theater, and restaurant people preferred when picking seats. People will analyze the people in the room, whether they want to sit next to someone who's small or big, or whether they want to sit next to a child or not. These decisions got psychologists interested in figuring out why people choose the seats that they do. Weyers, Milnick, Mueller, and Pauly conducted 2 experiments based off the psychologist Karev. They took Karev's results and tried to duplicate them, looking for missing pieces of his experiment. In the first experiment, they looked at how people chose their seats in a cinema setting. For participants, they took half of the participants from the University of Würzburg and the other half were not students. They took people from the ages 18 to 65 and asked them to look at a chart of a cinema. During the first experiment, participants were shown a variety of charts with the screens in different locations. Changing the screen's location would help determine what side was favored. The psychologist gave the participants a scenario to think about when choosing seats in the cinema. They would then be told to choose 2 seats that weren't taken during using their index fingers. They did multiple rounds, asking the participants to choose seats when the screen was at the top of the paper and to the left of the paper. On the screen, you can see an example of one of the charts they used when asking participants to do the experiment. Weyers and the other psychologists found that when the screen was at the top of the chart, people tended to choose seats on the right side rather than the left. Numbers showed that 104 people chose seats on the right, while only 67 chose seats on the left. On the other hand, when the screen was on the left, more people chose seats on the left. In fact, 91 people chose seats on the left and 80 chose seats on the right. From these results, they discovered that seat preference was changed with the movement of the screen. They then conducted a second experiment that focused on seat preference in a theater and a restaurant. They gathered 80 participants, 42 men and 38 women, in the age range of 18 to 65. In this experiment, they created 4 charts with the stage in different positions. Unlike the cinema experiment, Weyers and the other psychologists gave the theater one entrance at the back. They gave them a scenario that they were late to the play and had to choose seats that were available. They were instructed to choose seats on the 4 charts to see if the stage location was a factor in choosing seats. After conducting the theater experiment, they gave the participants a chart of a radio tower restaurant. This experiment was designed so that when entering the restaurant, the participants had no choice but to go left or right. They were instructed to lead the way to their seats with their fingers. By doing this, it would make it easier for the researchers to spot their preference. Weyers, Milnick, Mueller, and Pauly discovered that people favored the right side of the stage, and the same went for the restaurant. They found that no matter the stage location, people chose seats on the right. For the restaurant experiment, they found that when the elevator was shown at the top and to the left, people moved towards the right side, but when positioned at the bottom and to the right, people moved to the left. These results conclude that people's choices of seating in a public place is determined by the location of the screen, stage, and/or exit. Weyers, Milnick, Mueller, and Pauly developed a strong experiment that provided many results on how people choose their seats. Some of their strengths include their strong methods, for they conducted 2 experiments, which gave them a variety of results to support their ideas of what would happen. Along with that, the results were quite strong, providing the reader with all the details needed to understand the results, such as all the variables they tested. The conclusion is also strong. They provide a wrap-up of their study, discussing the changes they could make to the study, what they studied, and what they found. Although their study has lots of strengths, there are also weaknesses that I would like to point out. One of their weaknesses is that when discussing the participants, they fail to mention the socioeconomic background or race, which is important for readers to know when deciding if they selected a representative group. Also, Weyers and the others fail to mention the mean of the data, leaving out key details needed for readers to fully understand the results. In their discussion, they don't bring up what further research they could do or what they want to look further into. They also fail to mention what weaknesses were present in their experiment. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye!